Today we are gonna discuss about different genres of books or writing. First of all, what is genre? Genre is a specific way of writing or style of writing because why we like what we like. Now, like a science classification chart, genres, the two most important genres are fiction and non-fiction. We all are familiar with that. But fiction have plenty of subgenres in it and non-fiction have plenty more. So in this video we are gonna cover the fiction part and then we will cover non-fiction in the next one. Fiction are historical fiction, contemporary fiction, romance, fantasy, adventure, horror, thriller, mystery, paranormal, science fiction, speculative fiction, young adult, and many more. There's a non-ending list to that. Sometimes a book written in particular genre overlaps two or three more subgenres. Like science fiction, it can include in itself mystery, speculative fiction, which is supernatural, and yes, like that. Now, people confuse most between historical fiction and contemporary fiction. I will tell you why. What is historical fiction? Historical fiction is when an author write a book in historical fiction genre. He or she sets a story which is fictional in a factual historical backdrop. Like that history or anything discussed in that book about history is factual. That's actually happened. Fiction is what? Untrue. But that historical part is true. And the story the author put into that is fiction. And that's what makes it historical fiction. But now, why people confuse it with contemporary fiction? Because contemporary fiction is somewhat similar with historical fiction. The difference is in historical fiction there is history and a story, fictional story. But in contemporary fiction there is fictional story and the present scenario. Like pandemic. If someone writes a book on this coronavirus pandemic, then the pandemic is true. We all know that. It's true. It's actually happening out there. But the story is fictional. The story author will put into that will be fictional. And that's what the difference between historical fiction and contemporary fiction. The most famous examples of contemporary fiction, which people rather confuse with historical fiction, is The Kite Runner, Thousand Splendid Suns, and each one of Khalid Hosseini books. And the most famous examples of historical fiction are All the Lights We Cannot See, which is set around the time of World War II, or The Color Purple. It's historical fiction. Now, some people say The Diary of a Young Girl is a historical fiction. But no, that's a totally different genre. That's non-fiction. That's written by a girl who was actually there and she wrote the actual things happened at that time and that book got published. It's a diary of a girl, simply. So that's non-fiction. That's romance. You all are familiar with romance genre. And fantasy, yeah, mangadan cheese. Fictional. What is fictional? Untrue. Totally untrue. What your mind can wonder, where your imagination can go, just let it go and write it down. That's what makes a fiction. Thriller, mystery, horror. I have never read horror. I don't like it at all. And yes, that's what I think fiction is. Romance fiction. Best examples of romance fiction are Jane Austen books. Read them. The first chance you get to read them. And literary fiction. Oh shit, I just missed that one. Literary fiction. It's getting, fading away from reading word. Literary fiction, all those classics. But that's true English, true vocabulary, and true expression of words. I just love classics and they give you true knowledge. I mean, not true, every book give you true knowledge, but they give you deep knowledge, just so deep so deep knowledge of words and how to put them on paper. Classics are masterpiece, seriously. So literally fiction is fading away a bit. If we keep on reading them, maybe they won't slip out of our hands. So that's it, guys. It was all about genre. And yeah, genre derived from French. Did I tell you that? Genre derived from French, where they call it genre. Okay, sounds so strange. Like, but we speak American English, so we will stop ourselves to genre. R-U-H, genre, genre. Pronounce that right, and we will meet in our next video for non-fiction genre. Bye bye.